Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's BK Tarot here, and today's pick a card reading is going to be on what have people realized about you. Okay, so we have group 1 with Aquarius, we have group 2 with Cancer, we have group 3 with King Kunk's Complexity, and we have group 4 with Square Challenge. Okay, so take a second, decide which group you're the most drawn to. Timestamps will be below in the description box. All right, so let's get into it for y'all. Group 1, so we have Aquarius right here. So I feel like what people have realized about you, group 1, is that you don't care to be different. You embrace being different. You embrace doing things differently and beating to your own drum. You know, you could be someone who is like an adrenaline junkie, or you could be someone who likes very adventurous activities. So I'm thinking of like the hot air balloon. You could be someone who likes skydiving, zip lining, whitewater rafting, bungee jumping, scuba diving, diving in general, snorkeling, things like that. So you could have done one of those things or a few of those things, or maybe one of those things or a few of those things are on your bucket list. Okay, so people are realizing that you're someone who's very adventurous, you're brave, and you're fearless, pretty much. All right, so let's keep going. I'm going to use the What's the Tea deck here. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What have people realized about group 1? What have people realized about group 1? Okay. We have Want You Back. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. Oh, that one flipped out. Okay, so we have Into You. All right, this is getting a little romantic here. Let's get one more. Wasting Time. And on the back we have Ego. So what people have realized is that they miss you more than they want to believe. Okay, you could have ended a certain situation. You could have left like a workplace, or left a friend group, or left a family group, or distanced yourself from someone or something. And yeah, you are missed wherever you left. These people or this environment definitely miss your energy. Okay, and you could have hurt their feelings because you left them, or because you distanced yourself from them. And maybe at this point in time, it's hitting them now that they miss you. They want you back in their life. Maybe in the beginning when you left or distanced yourself, it didn't bother them, or they were maybe in denial about their feelings towards you. But now they are realizing that, dang, they really miss you. Like, damn, I really miss group 1. You know, I wish things would have worked out with us, things like that. So this could also be maybe a failed relationship. Like you could have been in like a talking stage or a courting phase with someone, and maybe for some reason it didn't work out. Maybe this person that you were involved with was moving too slow, and maybe you felt like they were wasting your time, or yeah, time was being wasted. So it could have been like something going on where things weren't progressing in the way that you thought, or in the way that you expected. So maybe you decided to bounce, or maybe you decided to just distance yourself from this person, group of people, workplace, whatever. Okay. Also, another message is people are realizing that they have a crush on you. They like how you look. They like your attitude. They like your adventurous spirit. And yeah, you're very, like, you have like a shock factor and a wow factor to you and your personality. And people are realizing that they really like this about you. And this is why they have, or one of the reasons why they have a crush on you, group one. It's not for everybody, just for a few people. All right, let's keep going. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, what have people realize about group one? Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, what have people realize about group one? All right, Six of Earth. Got another card that fell. All right, we have Temperance. Also, people are realizing, could be like a specific message that people are realizing that you have good handwriting. You have nice, clean handwriting. Okay. You could be someone who likes the winter, or you could like the fall months also. Or you could be a winter baby, so you could be born in the winter months. Okay. But it's like people have realized that you have brought a sense of balance to them by your personality, by your aura, by your demeanor. If there is like weird energy in the environment that you're in with other people, there's a person or group of people that realize that you balance it out. So you could be someone who is like optimistic. You could be someone who tries to get other people to see the brighter side of these situations. So you could be someone who speaks life into people or speaks life into situations. So it's like, if there's a crazy situation going on, you're someone who's like, oh, well, at least this didn't happen, or at least that didn't happen. You know, at least the power didn't go out. At least, you know, the car still works or something, you know, just an example. But yeah, people realize that you're someone who is optimistic, and you uplift people as much as you can. Spirit guides, what have people realized about group one? Madre of water. And then a Lolita of air. You're someone who can be a critical thinker. You have bright ideas. You have very interesting ideas. And you are someone who shares that with people. You could be someone who does your research. You like to learn information. You could be like a sponge for information. So you could soak up a lot of information about different topics and stuff like that. And then when you get in contact with other people, or when you connect with other people, you bring up those different, the different information that you have learned, and you share that with people. Yeah, there's people that definitely have a crush on you, group one. Okay, and maybe other people are realizing this. Maybe other people around this person are realizing that they have a crush on you because of maybe how they act towards you, or how maybe they blush when they talk about you, or their tone changes when they talk about you, or their behaviors could change when you come around. They also could be someone who wants to give to you or wants to impress you. Okay. Let me do two more. Spirit team, what have people realized about group one? Justice. Yeah, you're a very good-looking person, group one. You're good-looking, like you have a nice personality. You are very different and unique, and people really like this about you. You have a nurturing energy, but you also have great ideas. You could be someone who likes to debate or likes to have different discussions. And this card came out, the Chariot. So people realize that after any troubling times you have, you always pick yourself back up and you keep moving forward. So I feel like some people realize that, like, you have a personality where people either love you or hate you. So it's like people can get with it with who you are, how you are, and you're not changing for anyone. Or these people who don't like it can just get lost. Okay, so this is what I feel people are realizing about you, that you don't care. You don't care to please anyone. You don't care to satisfy anyone but yourself. You could be very, not self-absorbed in a bad way, but very about yourself in a way where you're focusing on growth within who you are. You could be traveling soon, or you could have gotten a new car, or you could be getting a new car. It could be like a specific message for someone. But also, I think I mentioned that before, is that like people do like to give to you, and other people are realizing that like other people like to give to you. You could be someone who receives gifts all the time, or just receives things out of the blue. And this just could be because, like I said, of your personality, how attractive you are, like the good energy that you bring to a room, and I feel like heads turn whenever you walk into a room, just because you are so different than the average person, but in a very good way. Wow. Okay. So we have Aquarius, we have the earth signs, water signs, air signs. We have Libra, Sagittarius, and Cancer. All right, group 1. So that was your reading. And we're going to get into it for group 2. All right, group 2. This is your card here. We have Cancer. So people can realize, or maybe people have realized, that you are more emotional than you give off. You could be someone who you could hide your emotions, but people can tell maybe by your facial expressions that you're emotional, or people can tell by your facial expressions that something affects you more than what you give off, or more than what you say. And maybe like after a certain situation happens where you're affected by something and you're around other people, you may have one way of reacting to it, but when you're behind the scenes or like by yourself, you maybe like talk to yourself, or everybody talks to themselves sometimes. I do, if I'm talking something out or just reflecting on my thoughts and stuff. So you could be someone who reflects on your thoughts, and like your thoughts are very kind of fiery and passionate. So instead of maybe taking it out on the person that's around you or the person that caused these emotions, like you'll go behind the scenes and kind of vent to yourself about it. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm getting so far. Also, people have realized that you have a colorful wardrobe. You could like dressing in a lot of different colors or bright colors, but it works for you. Like it's different because it's like you're someone who comes off with like an impression that you're not emotional, but you're one of the most emotional people in the room. And you may hide this, but it's nothing wrong with it. It's just a part of your personality, part of other people's personality. It's normal. But then your clothes and your wardrobe may be loud. So it's like a difference in like how you give off, like the impression you give off, and then a difference in how you dress yourself. Like it's two different ways. Like, okay, so people would expect by how you dress, people would expect you to have a more like emotional way of being, like upfront. But like I said, you could be just someone who is uncomfortable with sharing your emotions with other people, or uncomfortable with sharing big emotions around other people. Okay. So just take whatever resonates. Okay. Let's keep going. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, what have people realized about group 2? Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, what have people realized about group 2? All right. We got talking shit. Spirit guides, what have people realized about group 2? You could be someone that is a plant mom or plant dad and you do a good job at taking care of your plants, or you could be someone who has a garden and you're growing produce and is doing really well. All right, uninterested. Spirit guides, what have people realized about group 2? What have people realized about group 2? All right, we got creeping. This is different energy here, photo proof. So you could be someone who's like a good researcher. You could be someone who investigates certain things, maybe for yourself. Maybe this is not something that everybody knows. It could be like one person that knows about this because maybe you were talking to them or having a conversation about something that this other person was trying to figure out, or you were trying to figure out, and then you found a way to figure it out in a way that seemed very difficult to do, but you were able to do it. So you could be someone that like is good at cracking the code to certain situations or certain things. Okay. But I'm hearing like you could be someone who is aware of, like you could be very empathetic. You can be intuitive and you could know people's feelings and emotions, even if they are not saying it or speaking it out loud. You can just tell by maybe somebody's body language, or their facial expressions or the tone in their voice. You can tell maybe how people are feeling or how they're not feeling and things like that. Yeah, so you could have that spiritual gift of just being an energy reader, group 2. And you could be someone, people have realized that you are someone who is an observer. You could be someone who people watches. And you actually, maybe for one person, you could know how to read lips. That's what I'm getting. You could know how to read lips and know what somebody is saying, even if you don't hear what they're saying. Yeah, you're good with you're like a good body language detector is what I heard. If that's a thing, I don't know. But let's go into our next deck here, the Herb Crafters Tarot. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, what have people realized about group 2? All right, oh, it's backwards. We have 2 of Earth. And people have realized that you like being around water. You could be someone who's a nature girl or nature guy, and you like being around water. You like being out in nature, things like that. Spirit team, what have people realized about group 2? You could be someone who's wearing plaid right now, or you like to wear like plaid, like plaid tops or plaid blazer jackets or something. All right, we have 10 of water. Okay. And we have the Hierophant. So people are realizing that you have like an interesting family dynamic in some type of way. And then we have 3 of air. You have an interesting family dynamic, group 2, however that may look for you. Like you may not have the typical family unit that people are used to, like with, you know, well, nowadays it's different, but like a mother and father or whatever. So it could be like you and your aunt could be really close, or you and your aunt take care of your kids or whatever. Or you help your aunt take care of her kids or something like that. Or you could have like a niece or nephew that you have raised or something like that. I don't know. It's something specific like that. And maybe for one of you, you could have adopted a child or a kid. You could be an adoptive parent or a foster parent, maybe for like one person. Okay. But maybe by the way that you act, like when it comes to your emotions, people have realized that you have been through things and maybe you are healing right now. So maybe that's why you don't express your emotions as much, or, you sit back and you observe. You could be someone who really likes to drink coffee or really likes to drink tea. You could be someone who likes warm beverages. And maybe that is like a part of your habit or routine every day, to drink tea every morning or drink coffee every morning, or, drink your coffee or tea at a certain time every single day. Okay, people have realized this about you. So the signs that we have are the earth signs, water signs. We have Taurus, heavy, and then we have the air signs and Cancer, heavy. All right, group 2. So that was your reading. So we're going to get into it for group 3. All right, group 3. So we have quincunx, complexity. It's always hard for me to like say that word. You could be someone who believes in other worlds, or you could be someone who believes there are other species on this planet outside of just humans, Okay. Yeah, so like, yeah. You could be someone who likes like sci-fi movies. Okay. Maybe you're someone who likes to go to Comic-Con, or you like to dress in cosplay. Maybe for one of you, you could have a YouTube page or some type of social media platform where you display your interest in sci-fi type of things, or things involving anime or cosplay and things like that. But people see that whatever interests you have, like you're really deep into it and you really like it, and it like gives you joy, gives you pleasure. And some people may feel that you're offbeat. Some people may feel like they don't know like what box to put you in, or they can't figure you out. They can't solve you. They can't come up to a conclusion like, hey, this is group 3. They're like this, this, and that. But you're not that way, because you're very, like it says, complex. You're someone who's very complex and different. So you could be someone who has both sides, like you're into sci-fi, you're into anime, cosplay, things like that. But you also have a practical, more grounded side to yourself where you're a hard worker, you're about making money. You take care of your kids, you pay your bills. Yeah. So it's like you're able to do both. So I'm getting like you could be an Aquarius, you could be a Pisces, you could be a Sagittarius. You could be a Leo. That's what I'm getting so far. All right, so let's get into the next deck. What's the T? Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What have people realized about group 3? Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What have people realized about group 3? One of you could be an actor or actress, or you could have had like a gig before where you were a part of some type of, I'm hearing like a catalog or magazine, or like a magazine spread or something. Okay. And this card fell out. We have unfazed. What have people realized about group 3? What people realize about group 3 and no facts. I feel like these cards, like this combo seems to come out often because I think these two actually came out in a collective reading that I did, I think like 2 weeks ago. So let's keep going. Spirit team, what have people realized about group 3? What have people realized about group 3? Wow. Okay. Well, clearly. Then we have threatening. So with unfazed, no facts, unbothered, like people feel like you are in your own world and you're very happy being in your own world. And that is very intimidating to people, and people feel bothered by that. People are realizing that they feel bothered by your unbotheredness. That's crazy. Yeah, you could be someone who is aloof. People consider you to be aloof, or like you could be like in your mind a lot. Like if you're around other people, people could maybe tell that you are like maybe zoning out, or you have some things on your mind and you're not really paying attention to what's going on in front of you, especially if there's like other people around. Yeah. Let me get 2 more. Spirit team. What have people realized about group 3? Okay. Brokey. Let's see. Spirit team. Dang. Well, all right then. These cards just fell out. Hold on. Is that all of them? Yeah. All right, so this one came out. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, what have people realized about group 3? Moving on. And then shine. I feel like the fact that you don't give people attention, the attention that they want, bothers other people. Like you're in your own lane. You don't worry about other people, but these people that are realizing this about you, they want to compete with other people. They want to compete with you, but they know that they can't because you are like in a league of your own, clearly. But they wish that you were like unstable to make themselves feel better about not being like you or about not receiving attention from you, you know? Yeah, so you could intimidate people with how you move throughout life. There could be people that like want to flex, like people want to show off, like the fact that maybe they have money or whatever. They may like try to flex and act like they have more money than what they do, maybe to try to impress you, but it doesn't impress you at all. And this annoys them. This makes them mad. Okay. Or this could be that you bring up, not you, but it could be that this other person or group of people bring up certain conversations involving like getting money or material things or whatever, and you're not impressed at all. Yeah, this reminds me of someone that I used to be around where every time they came around, they would always talk about how much money they made. And I'm like it would get so annoying because it's like literally that's all this person talked about was making money, how much money they made and things like that. And it's like, yeah, good job. Everybody goes to work and make money. Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It was just annoying. So you could have some people around you that are like this, and they are bothered that you're not someone who tries to flex and tries to show off like your successes, and they're mad that you don't try to show off also, because if you were someone who tried to show off and flex and talk about materialistic things as much as they do, then they will feel like they can compete with you and they feel like you would be on their level, you know? So let's keep going. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What have people realized about group 3? Spirit team, what have people realized about group 3? Yeah, this is just confirming. We got 4 of water. What have people realized about group 3? Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What have people realized about group 3? 2 of water. So the fact that you're unbothered makes people like want to be around you more. Or this also could be that people want to try to get under your skin in a way to get some type of reaction out of you. But like I said, you could be someone who's aloof. You're in your own world. You're in your head thinking and stuff like that. And yeah, you're not thinking about them. Spirit guys, what have people realized about group 3? Yes, like people realize that like you have good relationships with other people that are more similar to you or that can relate to you better than these other people can. And that makes them jealous. Okay. So it's like if you, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like I'm imagining, so there's like 4 small mason jars here filled with like, well, there's one that doesn't have water, but I'm just giving the example of 4 cups here. So for instance, this could be these people where there's like 4 people or whatever. There's like a little group of people or whatever. They may be similar, or there are people who chit chat and like to talk about materialistic things or gossip and blah, blah, blah. But then like this is you and another person. Like this is the hummingbird there and a hummingbird there. And it's like you and this other person are just having a great time, just being, being in each other's energy, just you and that other person. But these other people are trying so hard to make their situation look more fun and exciting. And they're trying to like impress you or make you and this other person feel jealous or whatever. But y'all are just like shrugging your shoulders at these people like, I don't care. I'm talking to, this person about cosplay. I'm talking to this person about Comic-Con or this sci-fi movie I just watched and blah, blah, blah. While these people over here are talking about shit that don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is what people are realizing, that they want to be on your team. They want to be like you, but they can't. And then we have 2 of fire. And then we have the death card on the back. Yeah, you kind of like kill their ego. This is what people are realizing, is that just by you not interacting with them, just by you not giving them the time of day or giving them attention, you are hurting their ego. And this is why they like bothered by you. They're realizing this about you. Yeah. It's like you're moving on, you're moving forward, you're worried about like getting ahead in life. But I feel like you are someone, people are realizing that you compete with yourself. You try to be a better person each day. Like you compete with yourself, you don't compete with other people around you, which is what these other people do. And I feel like they're realizing this about themselves. Like the fact that you're so different and complex and about yourself, this is kind of reflecting a mirror onto them, and they're realizing that they are more about impressing other people they're more about impressing other people versus putting that energy and effort into bettering themselves. Okay, I hope that makes sense, y'all. So the signs we have are water signs, fire signs, and heavy Scorpio here. All right, group 3, that was your reading. So we're going to get into it for group 4. All right. So we have group 4 square challenge. Excuse me. So I was thinking about when I saw this. What am I trying to say? So for those of you guys that are a little bit older and you watched the Cosby Show growing up, you might remember one of the episodes with Bill Cosby. I think it was Bill Cosby and like a tap dancer, and they were battling each other. And the tap dancer would do his little tap, tap, tap. And then he would say, challenge. And then Bill Cosby would do his thing. And then challenge. I don't know. That just came up, I think, because I saw this word challenge. So, yeah, some of y'all could be born. Some of y'all could be an 80s baby or early 90s baby, like between like 90 and 93 when you were born. Okay, so some of you guys could be really good dancers. This is what people are realizing about you. You could be someone that does tap dancing. Maybe for one of you, you could do fencing, or you could know how to do fencing or something like that. I know it's very specific. But, yeah. You're someone who is very musically talented, group 4. This is what people are realizing about you. You may not display it very openly or very often, but maybe recently there was a situation where you displayed this talent, like singing or dancing or something. And people saw this and they're like, dang, group 4 is really good at what they do, you know? Also, you're someone who could be competitive, group 4. This is what people are realizing about you. You could have recently, I'm hearing like you could have played pool with some friends. You could have went to like a pool hall or played basketball or played some type of sport or some type of competitive activity. And people realize that you were very competitive. And you could have been someone who won multiple times at whatever that competitive activity was. Okay. That's interesting. All right, let's keep going. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What have people realized about group 4? What have people realized about group 4? Okay. Wow, okay. So we have creativity. So people realize that they want to be like you. They want to copy you, or maybe people realize that other people are copying you. So it could be that like you say certain things, like you could be very witty with your words or your comebacks or like your one-liners and things like that. And then other people notice this person saying the exact same catchphrase or whatever that you said. Okay. All right, that wants to come out. Wolf in sheep's clothing. For some of you, group 4, you could have like a resting bee face. You could have a face where you may look mean or mad, but people are realizing that that's just your face. That's just how you look. So you could be a Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising. You could be a Virgo, sun, moon, or rising. Or a Cancer, sun, moon, or rising. Always partying. And then travel. So I'm hearing like people are realizing that you're a well-rounded person. You could have like a good group of friends that you always hang out with. You could go on trips with them, things like that. You're someone who's competitive, you're creative. You don't turn down a challenge. And this is what people are realizing about you. You could be a good host or hostess. You could be someone who is planning on throwing a New Year's Eve event or New Year's Eve party or something like that. Or you're going to travel to see friends or family. For New Year's, that could be a specific message for one person. Hustling. You could be an entrepreneur, and you could have like a side business or a business where you make money with your creative talents. You could make money through your creative talents. So that includes artistry, that includes acting, anything involving music also. Spirit team, what have people realized about group 4? Alrighty, boss daddy. Yeah, you're a well-rounded person. You have money in the bank. I'm hearing that song, Money in the Bank, shorted with your drink. Okay. Yeah, definitely you are a business owner. You do well for yourself financially. And people are realizing this about you. Like you could be someone where people see you and they have a certain impression of you where they may feel like you're not really into much stuff. You could be you're someone who's down to earth for sure. But you're someone who doesn't flex on people. You're very modest about things. But when they find out about who you are, the type of business you have, the type of money you have and stuff like that, they are very surprised at who you are beneath the surface, you know. Some of y'all could be, maybe for one person, you could be a doctor or a nurse or a registered nurse or like a medical assistant or in the medical field or something like that. You could have recently just gotten a degree or recently gotten a certificate for a career path that you're taking. So if so, congratulations. That's good. Spirit team, what are people realizing about group 4? What are people currently realizing about group 4? Yeah. You guys are a leader. That's what people are realizing about you. You are like a humble and modest leader, and however that may look. You're very stable. You have your stuff together. You could have a house. You could have an apartment. You could have a loft or a condo or a co-op or something like that. So maybe for one or two of you, you could live in New York City or you could be from New York City. We have 5 of fire. Yeah, I'm heavily feeling like for maybe one or two of you, you have multiple streams of income already, or you're working on that. So you could be into cryptocurrency, you could be into Bitcoin, the stock market, things like that. But you also could have your side hustle going on, and then you also could have a corporate job or like a 9 to 5 that you work. All right, 10 of fire. People are realizing that you can juggle and handle a lot of things all at once. We have the Fool. People are realizing that you like to travel. Group 4. You're someone who likes to travel. You like to be on the go. You could be someone who doesn't like to sit still. And people are realizing that you do have a lot of bright ideas that are prosperous and they lead to like successful opportunities for you, which is why you're able to create these multiple streams of income for yourself. And this is why you're able to go out, party, have a good time with your friends. Okay. So the signs that we have Aries, we have the fire signs, very heavy, and we have Aquarius. All right, group 4, that was your reading. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.